Podcast starts at 19 seconds.
Welcome to a new episode of Fit the Description, a Black Men's podcast where various Black men come together to talk about life, society, entertainment, culture, news, and whatever else we want to talk about from various Black men's perspectives. I'm your host, G, and today we got Adam.
Yo.
And we got James. Oh, okay, hold on. James, you got to fix your mic, man. You sound low as With that being said, make sure to do me a favor on your way in. Make sure to subscribe. Help us build this channel, help us build this community. Also, you can check us out on various different podcast platforms. The link will be down below. Also, make sure to check out our Clips channel, Fit the Description podcast over there on YouTube, where you could get small formats of our podcast. It's happening behind the scenes. We finally got the shorts fixed, so you're going to be now, at least until next year, guarantee a Saturday short every single Saturday. So that's the good news. So you're guaranteed now going forward, unless something really bad happens, you're going to get a Saturday short every weekend now. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started.
I heard that was a hot topic in retirement homes.
It was. Actually, that is pretty crazy. They say them they be getting it in over there. Like, I feel like Viagra is probably like the top commodity of drug down there.
If you got to take Viagra as a guy when you're that old, what's the female equivalent of it?
What do you mean? There's actually Viagra for chicks.
Like, you have Viagra for men. Do you have Viagra for women?
Yes, there is.
What's it? Is it called Viagra?
Nah, it's well, there's a bunch of that shit. It's weird. It's like Spanish fly or something like that. Weird. Trust me, dude. How many?
I think of Spanish fly, I think of a Mexican porno. That's literally the name of it. So now I have that in my head.
I don't know. All I know is we've gotten hammered plenty of times and stumbled into porn shops in Vegas, and that shit is always a great time. Most of the time, it ends up in whoever was.
Gee, did you mute his mic?
No.
In a relationship, they're breaking up. But what? That was great. That was crazy.
I got one crazy experience of being drunk going to a porn shop, and I will not relive that.
Really?
I go into porn shop sober now.
It was that awesome, or did you just?
It was that traumatizing.
Traumatizing? What the? Look, it can't be any more traumatizing than starting the equivalent of a food fight in a porn shop.
Wait, how was that traumatizing?
I mean, it wasn't, but some people, the people that weren't as drunk, felt like it was so embarrassing.
Was it actual food, or was it like dick lollipops? Because I can see that.
It was pretty much anything that was in there. like we just started a war. It just started throwing into. I mean, come on, dude. But at that point, we had been thrown out of most of the places around here, so it didn't matter. There's actually a record of it. Like, we've been banned from bowling alleys. Oh, we got banned from the California Speedway.
Really?
Yeah, that was a great story.
Well, I can see multiple ways of that happening.
Well, basically, when you guys are really wasted and you decide that it's not fun to just race, but you need to play cops and robbers in high-speed pursuit. And at one point, you see one of your buddies laughing, driving past you, like backwards, like, hey, he's going the wrong way. And then a head-on collision happens. Yeah, it was bad.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, we got thrown out of there pretty good. Bowling alleys. Oh, we got banned from the mini golf place over here. I probably still I'm not allowed in there. It's not my fault. You know, I mean, when you try to look, somebody says hit a line drive. Okay, obviously you're gonna hit a line drive, but when there's a freeway right next, I mean, who the hell will put a freeway next to a mini golf place? Gee, think
I
people.
feel I feel the same
Oh,
when I drive by and I see just like regular golf places, like right there in between. Like, yeah, one on one side and one on the other side on just a regular street. I'm like, you're kind of just asking to be hit at
Right,
this
right.
point.
You know what I'm saying? $20. Who hits the Honda? Let's go.
I bet there's probably like some really rich dudes who really do make those bets. Like, yeah, just go ahead, hit that as hard as you can. I got you. I'll pay for it. Don't worry.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we just like the bowling alley. I mean, the bowling alley was pretty like, yeah, that was bad.
How? I want to hear this. What the hell happened at the bowling alley?
Well, bowling was great, but we decided half of us wanted to play pool and half of us wanted to go bowling. So, you know, we decided to put them together. So we got a bunch of balls stuck in the gutter, and then you were supposed to smack one or two of them in, and it was you started throwing across lanes. It was pretty bad. We got
That sounds fun though.
it was a blast, and then they shut off the games, and they thought that would matter that they turned the game off. It doesn't matter. We still have the bowling ball, so it's just gonna get more interesting. I think the best one was the Roadhouse. We got banned. We got a whole store, a Best Buy, banned from a Roadhouse.
Oh,
The managers literally came over and said, "You guys, this store is no longer welcome at the Roadhouse."
oh,
I think I still have some steak knives from those dudes. Fuck that.
man.
Okay, here's a topic for you guys. So, do you guys think that was more fun when you guys were growing up compared to the older generation than you, or this generation, the younger guys? What do you guys? Because you're now like the middle child in all of this.
Mhm.
Do
I
you guys?
personally feel like the older generation had more fun.
Okay, I agree. I mean, G
Yeah.
doesn't, but
You know,
and B doesn't.
okay, wait. Don't speak for me.
I'm not speaking for you. You have a video on here where you said, this is for James, but I think our childhood was way better than yours." And then you started lying about all the shit that you guys did that was nowhere near it. You guys were too young to experience any of
Why
that.
you make them sound like that?
Oh,
You know what?
no, that's not what. No, that's a whole entire different argument.
I just had an Ed and Eddie vibe right there when I heard.
That was an entirely different conversation.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. That was not the premise of the conversation.
What was the premise of the conversation?
The premise of the premise conversation was more about what was your era and what you grew up with.
Do you really need us to listen to the tape? You full of shit. Like, bro, you literally were like, "Everybody, I'm telling you, I'm GB. We had like, like Gundam and karate and stuff.
Again, yes. When it comes to entertainment, yes, we have better entertainment. Absolutely, I would totally.
You were but you're smoking rock, bro.
How? Yes, I will
how?
admit we have the one that I'll give you. Okay, this is the one that I'll give you 90s from what I've heard. It's you probably have better parties. That's what it sounds like to me. Your partying days were a lot better.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So really, okay, with everybody on here, you're gonna still do that? I mean, see, so now
No, go ahead. What am I doing?
Now, Adam and Norris have never been part of this argument. B has. But I don't think B's like that, like the young kid that his parents are fighting. He doesn't want any part of this. But I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. I'm gonna tell you again. And for one of the last times, because I know it's gonna come up again, you did not live the life you think you lived. You lived that in rerun era, not in real time.
Oh,
Your childhood was basically a replay of mine.
what?
Your childhood was a replay of mine, dog.
No, 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 it wasn't.
Okay. All right, bet.
You grew up in like the 80s, right?
What the fuck? Okay, sure.
Yeah. I grew up in like the 90s and early 2000s. So no.
You did okay. The 90s for you really doesn't count because you didn't really know anything till the late 90s.
I can understand that.
Exactly. So all of that shit, again, all of that shit about you watching Martin and knew what Martin was and,
Yeah.
and Fresh Prince and all of that, you were like 2 years old, dog. So you didn't know it. Listening to the Chronic album when it first was released is insane. So you didn't know any of that. Now you have Adam coach like he's agreeing.
I do gotta agree with that, man. It was. Yeah.
How old were you? How old were you? What year were you born?
The 90s. Well, 1990.
Okay,
Bam.
so
Technically speaking, I was 8 days away from being born in the 80s.
So he is exactly this around you, right?
yes.
And he says, okay, Adam, did you watch Martin when it was first released?
No.
Adam.
Did you?
Adam. Well, no, stop. Let me pause it. Let me pause it. Adam,
Yeah.
how many TV stations did you have back then?
Growing up, I had the first time I remember anything, I think it was I had like 500.
Thank you. Boom. Thank you.
Because all the porn channels were like 590.
Yep. There we go. So yeah, he didn't exist when there was like 9 channels.
Now my neighbor, that was a different story. My neighbor only had like 20 something, but it was only 13 because like 20 something channels was static.
Mm-hmm.
No. I'm not gonna let this one slide. I said
Holy
it before.
shit.
I'll say it again. Do you remember a time where Martin was not on the TV? I can't remember a time when Martin was on the TV.
Can I remember a time when Martin was not on TV?
As a kid.
No, but I never really watched Martin when I was a kid.
All right, there you go.
I watched The Fresh Prince.
Everybody did.
But I did watch the Wayne Bros.
Everybody did.
Just not Martin.
Yes, but what he's saying is again validating that you're wrong. And you said it again. Do you remember
how did you validate that I'm wrong? He said he didn't even watch Martin.
You said, do you remember a time when Martin was not on the TV?
Yes,
like,
I said, do you remember a time when Martin was not on the TV?
Yeah, because Martin was always on when you were a kid.
Yes.
That means that Martin had already done 100 episodes and it was in syndication. That's the only time a show would be on the air all the time. I remember Martin being on 1 day a week, which was a Sunday night.
All I'm saying was when I was a kid. No, what I'm saying is when I was a kid, when Martin was coming on, yes, I remember watching.
That was and that's what I've always, this whole argument, I've always tried to get it through your brain. That is a rerun. I said I watched it in real time.
No, because when I was watching it was going on. It wasn't a rerun.
No, you remember it being on. Just like you just asked Adam, do you remember Martin not being on all the time? Yeah. Yes, because it's a rerun.
You know what? How about this? What if Martin came on another channel, but it was acting as if it was a new show in a sense? Like, for me, it was Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z, I'm pretty sure was already finished in the 2000s when I started watching it, like 2001, 2002, right?
What?
But yeah,
No,
was
it
done.
wasn't.
Dragon
Not
Ball
in
Z was
America, at
done.
least.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z was completed. All the anime was done. The animation was done. And on Toonami, when Dragon Ball Z came on, it would get all the way up until the Frieza saga when they was fighting the Ginyu Force.
Yes,
And then
but
it would
okay,
just,
hold on, because for your premise to work, did you watch the whole entire thing? Because did you watch the whole entire thing before then?
no.
And did you watch it in English,
I
or did
started
you watch it
watching Dragon
or
Ball
did you
Z.
watch it in Japanese? Because that's the
I
difference.
started watching Dragon Ball Z when it came on Toonami, but this is what I'm getting at. So when it got to the Ginyu Force, one part of the Ginyu Force saga, it would just start back over to like the Sand saga when Raditz was introduced, right? And it took them about a year, I believe, a year and a half for them to say that there are now new episodes of Dragon Ball Z showing on Toonami on every Friday or so, right? But the show was already done. The show was already ended. We just got that, I guess, or they was done doing the dub of it and everything. So when we got it, and we were still getting it, it was new to us, but it was already done. So what if you was watching Martin on a TV, a specific channel, and it was already done, but they were like showing it again?
No, Martin wasn't done because I remember when Martin ended. I watched that episode. The last episode when everybody was in the room and everybody showed up. I watched the last episode of Martin. Clear it.
Well, when is the last episode of Martin? When is the official air date?
I know I watched it when it aired. I'll look it up real quick.
Because I know
Probably
Dragon Ball
94.
GT came out around the late.
Oh, Norris, you're back. Hold on, wait. Let's get a new, fresh voice in this. Norris, here's a question for you. Do you remember as a kid Martin being on?
Yeah.
That's my point. That's what I'm trying to explain to James, that when we were growing up, Martin was always on. So we grew up and we watched it.
Yeah, exactly. So Norris,
Well,
was it on all
I've
the
been
time?
listening this whole time. He's saying there's a separation because he's talking about when they just show reruns of the same show. Like it's the show, but they're just showing the whole season over and over again. That's what he's saying that you caught.
No. I get that, but what I'm saying is that I watched it when it was going on. It was going on because I remember watching the last episode. It wasn't a rerun. It was the last episode. I watched that clearly.
I get what you mean on that too. I'm just saying, like, I'm kind of making it make sense to everybody. But yeah, it was still airing like the newer episodes, like from season 1 on up to like, because this was over years in time and whatnot, because there was a lot of different TV shows happening and stuff like that. But I think I heard him say it was on Sundays. And that another piece to that something I'm gonna say, it kind of depends on where you lived. At the time, I was in San Diego. I wasn't in LA or anywhere else. So first of all, our network channels were kind of different, even though some of the like stations were the same. Like I don't know if everybody remember UPN and all that stuff.
Yep.
But even though it would be like channel, I don't know, just make up channel 18. Say I was 18 in San Diego, but it'd be like 13 in LA. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So the air dates for this stuff also was like a little bit different too. That's what I found weird as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The air dates were never different. Back in the day, the air dates were never different. The times would be different. So if you were on the East Coast, if you were on the East Coast, it would air 2 hours earlier. But it would always air on the same day, the same night, Sunday night at 8 o'clock. The only thing is 8 o'clock in East Coast time is like 6 or 5 o'clock here.
I noticed something about that though that is being mentioned. It's kind of off topic, but it is on topic. At the end, they started taking stuff out. You know, the credits. I remember when they used to, because they used to play like on HBO and stuff like that. So it would go static, you know.
Yeah.
And then also, like the what was that called? The You Go Boy with the ears, because he would fly in the air with the ears. Like it was like they took that off at the end of the credits. I'm just saying the stuff what I saw when it was being first aired.
Yeah, but exactly. Just like you just said, you said you remember it on HBO, right?
Yeah.
HBO, it didn't exist on HBO. It was on Fox. That show aired on Channel 11, Fox. Or if you were in another, like if you were in Vegas, I think Fox is Channel 5.
Mm-hmm.
So it was all HBO is syndication. BET is syndication. Anyway, a black show that did over 100 episodes went to syndication. And usually it would get picked up by one of the cable channels, which they would play it all the time. That's reruns though. But G won't believe me. G swears in his mind, and again, it makes sense because the show only ran for 5 seasons. So it was 91 or 92 to like 96 to 97.
97, May 1st, 97. I'm looking at it right now.
Okay. So again, you guys were like 5, 6, maybe 8 at the most.
Mm-hmm.
So again, to a 6-year-old watching Martin, first of all, is wild as shit. Second of all, to understand anything that's going on in there is super wild. And third of all, to just be like, yep, this is the first time this show has ever been aired. And I watched all of it in one sitting. It's crazy.
I mean, I didn't say I watched all in one sitting. I never said that.
But you said it was
the
on
only thing
all
I
the
can
time.
say.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah, we're listening.
Only thing I can say is I think there's like a couple of glitches in the generation, honestly, because my wife was born in 1990.
Mm-hmm.
And for some oddball reason, I know of more like television shows as well as just like certain things in general in comparison. And she was like, how do you even like, I'll be like, I guess a few years do make a difference, but I don't get it. And then it's like you got even older generations, there's different separations and stuff too. So I'm like, what I'm really getting at, I guess, is TV shows wise, during I guess 90s, everybody, well, I can't say everybody because it depends on your childhood started. But a lot of people were watching things like Power Rangers and stuff like that in the 90s. But if this is one of those tell signs about like the things was the commercials or the TV show before it. So like something that would play before I think Power Rangers was like what, Gilligan's Island or something like that. So I think with Martin, we have to think about what commercials was playing and what TV show came on before Martin or after it. It can kind of tell you if you was watching it when it was airing, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. But
do
G
you know
can't
what it
remember
was?
that.
Because I don't remember.
G can't remember that.
Yeah, I can't remember all that.
Oh man. And the glitch, Norris, you're talking about, it's not really a glitch. It's honestly the couple of years difference means that she was more of the kids who had to go outside. They had to be outside. Like we were those kids too, but that's why most of the stuff that I key in on is the stuff that G could not possibly fucking watch because it was the stuff that happened Sunday night, prime time, late at night, or like the Family Matters thing. That was TGIF Fridays. Those are all night shows.
Yeah.
Those are shows when you had to be in. The street lights was on. Your black ass was in the house.
Yeah.
But all the other stuff, like Power Rangers, I watched Power Rangers. And the reason Gilligan's Island came on before Power Rangers was because kids were still in school. So Gilligan's Island is more of a parent show, even though I watched that shit too. It's dope. But
Yeah.
you know,
That's what
I ain't hate. So you was either watching the Power Rangers or you was flipping the K-Cal and watching the Rescue Rangers. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that.
Mhm.
But before that came on, it was like the court shows or soap operas or Gilligan's Island, that kind of shit. So that's what happened. That's why, because your parents were fucking glad that you guys were out of the house so they could watch their programming. And then when kids were in the house, all of a sudden the kids shit would turn on. But again, How I know that is because again, but G over here swears he was in our generation gangbanging, watching,
I never
listening
said
to
that.
Dr. Dre and
He
DJ
said
Quick.
gang.
Bro, you said you listened to DJ Quick and Dr. Dre when the shit was first airing.
Yes, but how did I say I listened to it?
The fucking find, but again,
I said multiple times. I said yes because my cousin and people used to play it. So when they used to play, I used to listen to it.
but you were 3 years old. I would play it in front of a 2-year-old too, because they wouldn't understand what the fuck they were saying.
Yeah, but
He
I
was
still
saying
listened.
that you're not an adult at the time. You're not saying you didn't hear it per se. You weren't in a certain age bracketing, basically.
You didn't understand what a crocosack was. You didn't understand what a spliff was. You didn't understand what the chronic was. You were just there.
Yeah, listen to it.
So now you're like, hell yeah, I listened to it. No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. I just said I did.
That's like giving a fucking calculus problem to a 3-year-old and being like, solve that. They'll look at you like you're retarded. Like, okay, yeah. I know my alphabet. They're not gonna be like, yeah, I was on Greenleaf, splitting spliff. You know what the fuck? They're not
He's
gonna
saying
say
you wasn't even old enough to buy it. So how are you really listening to it? You're listening to it because somebody else is listening to it, is what he's saying.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
but you didn't understand anything of it. So I mean, how the hell are you getting credit for that?
What do you mean am I getting credit for that?
You sat there and said, hell yeah, I listened to the Chronic album when it first came out. Motherfucker, that shit came out in 91.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there. My cousin was listening to it. I was in the car, sitting in the back in my car seat, gangbanging. The fuck? You feel like it's ludicrous.
Again, I never said that. I just said I was there. I
It's
listened
the
to it. Yes, I
most
heard.
ludicrous shit I've ever heard in my life, dude. Like, hell yeah. I was 2 years old, fucking sitting there talking about hell yeah, Coops and quick, big doggy style. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, but I've always said, I've always said that I did listen to it.
Oh my gosh.
So
Okay.
I don't get what your major point is, but
so basically you're saying so you guys were around the time when they started telling mothers that you should sing and play music for your kids and read to your kids while they're in the womb, because that'll get them more acclimated to your voice and stuff like that. So they was playing NWA and you was like, yeah, you was in there like, yeah, this is what I'm talking about, niggas with attitudes.
I mean, no, I don't know about all that. Like I said, I wasn't around for NWA, so I can't really speak on that.
But again, your parents they was listening to it.
No,
so
I doubt my mom was listening to NWA, so no.
Hey, you never, how you know?
Because my mom hates rap music until like I got older.
So again, that makes it even worse. Your mom hates rap music, but yet you was 2 years old listening to the Chronic.
Again,
hell, you got
I
me.
wasn't always with my mom.
Yeah, because I know plenty of 2-year-olds that just get dropped off with random people who gangbang. That's
not what happened.
That's not what happened? They was listening to the Chronic.
Yes. Just like when all of us used to listen to hip hop.
I used to, I'm just gonna stay silent.
Why? Come on, get in this. This is good.
Nah, I can't speak.
Yes, you can.
I don't have no place to speak with my Radio Disney listening ass.
Hey, most kids that are 2 and 3 years old were listening to shit like Bop and Kids Bop and SpongeBob and shit. but this motherfucker G was over there like cripping. Nigga G was holding guns, toting bandanas in his diaper. Like, goddamn, jeez, that is. Oh my god, this motherfucker wasn't doing the Urkel. He was crip walking. Ain't that right, G?
I didn't say none of that. All I'm saying was I was around for that and I listened to it.
I mean, but you weren't.
How wasn't I? I just told you I was.
Nobody, you have got nobody that corroborated your fucking story.
Norris did. He said, "Yeah, you probably listened to it."
He just said you were.
I listened to Biggie, but that was CD when I was 7. Before my mom ran in the room and took it from me.
Biggie came out in like 95.
But yeah, and I listened to Biggie. But it didn't get I was older.
The only thing I knew, the only song I knew when I was young was Big Papa.
Yeah,
that's
but
it. I didn't understand it. I just knew it was cool.
Yeah, that's you see, I would probably agree with that premise. We're like, yeah, I may not understand all the nuance of it, but I did listen to it, and yeah, I did like the music, absolutely.
Yeah, but Biggie Smalls came out in like 95, 96, some shit like that. So yeah, I could see that. And you guys still didn't understand it. You were just listening to it.
Yeah.
So if 5 years later music comes out that you don't understand, but you can kind of figure out, okay, he's saying something, then how the hell do you watch Martin and listen to the Chronic?
What do you mean?
You can't even comprehend that shit in like
comprehension
96.
has nothing to do if you watch it and listen to it.
No, that's exactly. Oh, okay. So okay. So basically, what you're telling me is all of those kung fu movies I watched that were in Chinese, I got all of that shit. Hell yeah, I watched it all. I didn't understand a lick of what they were saying. I'm just like, oh shit, the kung fu is dope.
Yeah, that's how I was. It's like watching like the anime and stuff. You may not know what they're saying, but if the fight scenes are tight, you're gonna watch it and say that fight scene is tight.
Okay. Yep. That's all I need to know. We're done here. We're done here. We are fucking done here. Did you? Yep, we're done. It makes sense because they're in a different language that you can't understand. But you understand English, you just couldn't comprehend it.
Okay, but what's that do with me listening to it?
You're not listening to anything. You're just staring at a screen or staring at a box.
No, I'm listening to it. Absolutely, I was.
So anyway, let's switch topics. What do you guys feel about the fucking shooting at the goddamn Super Bowl parade?
I didn't really know about it. What happened?
Oh,
a gunman started shooting people at the Kansas City parade.
Was he black?
I keep telling everybody he was a 49ers fan, but I don't know. No idea. I'm pretty sure he's a 49ers fan. Because he shot a lot of people. There's what you say? The count's up to 22 injured, one dead.
Last I checked, it's 22. I think one was killed. I think it was a mixed up. I think they said some children got part of that count was children.
Yeah, that's just crazy. It's wild. What y'all think about that?
Yeah, actually, I think some news came out. I think they said it was the local game. I think it was like a gang thing, from what at least a rumor that I read. Mm-hmm. But I don't know because they show some people getting arrested.
This is why I don't do with parades, man.
Wait a minute, you're telling me you've never been to a Laker parade? You're telling me you've never been to a Laker parade?
I've been to parades, but when you actually have to guard the crowd of the parade,
oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I've never been there.
I try to avoid it at all costs. Yeah, it gets crazy. They always hear reports about, there's always some type of rumor that someone's going to do something. You hear reports about like there's a potential bomb attack or something like that, or a potential maniac around, and it's just like, I because I know that I try to avoid parades. And so what happened? So what happened with this shooting? I'm not surprised by it because there's always a threat all the time. My condolences go out to the families that's been affected by this, of course. I pray them well. That they, that they to hold each other tight and be strong about the situation because it was messed up. But but
God damn.
Jay said they might be a 49ers fan.
Hey, B is a humanitarian, bro. Holy crap.
Man. Oh man, because Kansas.
Man, I mean, B, man, you the humanitarian, bro. Watch out. He was like, yeah, shout out to all of the, prayer condolences. I mean, damn, I would have never. Look, man, if y'all got to make me do that, we getting canceled for sure. I'm sorry. Hey, man, my bad, dog, but I can't do that. You took your ass out there for a reason, okay? Shit happens sometimes. That's what happens in the streets. Like G said, wait a minute, you ain't never been to a Laker parade? Nope, never. I've been around them. I ain't never been to one. If the Lakers win the championship 12 more times, guess how many of those parades I'm going to?
None.
Exactly. Like I get a fucking ring. Was I on the team? How the hell do I need to be in no goddamn parade cheering these dudes on? I didn't buy any of their merchandise, didn't go to any of the games. The fuck do I need to go to the parade for? You got to give me something to go to that parade. Like I got to get at least a replica ring or a fucking free T-shirt, something, dog. I can't just be sitting there in the middle of the hell no. The only time I've been around it is because we were selling water at one of the parades.
That's
Yeah,
smart.
make that buck. Yeah.
Hey, that's how you make money. Those parades were always in hot ass weather. So you go out there with a couple cases of water, you will make a killing or get robbed. One or the other.
Or both. Make a
Yeah,
killing.
there's that thing. But no, hell no. Fuck would I go to one of these parades for? Congratulations. They brought a championship home to the city. Great. Hang another banner. Get a couple more $1 million. You giving me any of that money? All right, well, fuck you then.
Hey, B is a hardcore. Well, I don't know if he's that anymore, but he was a hardcore Laker fan back in the day. So
what are you talking about? I was a hardcore Laker fan back in the day too.
You were a hardcore Laker fan back in the Showtime.
Exactly.
Dude, nobody was around for that.
What does that got to do for anything? They didn't also they also didn't hold no fucking parades and close down half the city.
Oh, you see, I didn't know nothing about that.
Yeah, this is some new type shit. And every time it happens, it's a fucking issue. Look, this is what I remember. I remember watching the Super Bowl and then a team winning, and then afterwards, the Disney commercial will pop up. And they, you know what I'm saying, that wish upon it. And then afterwards, they would have one of the clips of the dudes, oh, go to Disneyland.
Yeah, I remember that. Yep.
That was it.
Yep.
That was all I remember. And then they would show a picture of the team going to Disneyland, have a blast afterwards. It wasn't the city got to shell out $1 billion for the team to drive down the middle of the city with the trophy and pick up a bunch of hoes and go party afterwards. The fuck?
And that's why I don't do parades, man. That's just wild, bro.
There's no point to it.
Man.
Like I feel that the NHL does it a little better because those dudes each get like a turn with the trophy. So
what? I don't know nothing about the NHL, so you gotta explain that to me.
Like the Stanley Cup.
Okay, yeah, I know about that, but I don't know what happened after that. All I know is I think the Kings had a parade.
Yeah, but like each player gets a turn with the trophy. You know what I'm saying? Like player, you get to kick it with the trophy for like a week or something like that.
Yeah, but that's the same with the NBA. NBA, the players get it for like a week, whatever.
Who the fuck said that?
Yeah, dude, yeah, NBA players do that. They get like a day or a week with the trophy.
This motherfucker said they get a day or a week with the trophy. Which one is it?
Shit, the police department out here had a whole week with the trophy when they won.
Who won?
When they NHL, the
Oh, cool.
Stanley Cup.
Yeah, exactly. But see, yeah, that's the Stanley Cup. Like, see, that kind of shit is different.
The police department, they didn't do shit, but they had a trailer. I was there when they got it. I got pictures.
Well, see, the reason they didn't do anything is because they've probably figured out because you do understand that there's not a new cup. Like, they write the names of the rings have all the names of the teams that won.
Okay.
Which is really cool. But I see some of the disgusting things they do. I mean, people eat cereal out of that motherfucker. They drink alcohol out of it. Like, that shit is disgusting, bro. I wouldn't do shit with that trophy.
Wait a minute. You're telling me if you were like in the league and like you actually made it to the NFL and you worked your ass off to finally win this trophy and you wouldn't do nothing with it?
I'll put it on top of a hoe and fuck her doggy style.
You see, like, and then yeah, see, shit like that. Think about it. You hear what he just said? Now you get it next. Now what happens? What you gonna do? Come on, G. What you gonna do? This dude just did all of that, and trust me, it wasn't always on top of her.
You don't know how I finished neither, so just keep that open.
You know, it wasn't always on top of her.
Oh, I know.
That cup sound like it was used for pimp juice.
Hey, just saying, bro. Good. Come on, G. What you gonna do with it?
I'll probably just hold it, take it around the city, and then send it back when I'm done.
Ew, you gonna put your hands on that thing? That's gross. You hear what he just did?
After Adam had that much fun with it,
You know?
You touched it, man?
Okay. Pause. It depends on where I'm at in line. If Adam had it before me, I don't want it, but I plan on having it before Adam.
I'm gonna get that trophy. I'm gonna rub my hands together. I'm gonna be looking at it like that guy from behind the trees be looking at people and shit and be like, yeah.
Hey, that's fine, but like I said, I get it before. If we were on the same team, I'm getting the trophy before you.
Why? Yeah. Hey, what if I made the winning shot?
Doesn't matter. I'm going to be the star player.
The star player ain't got nothing on the person who made the winning shot.
Star player has everything to do with over the person that winning shot.
I'm the reason why we won today.
And I'm the reason why what carried us to victory.
Man, they gonna be chanting my name though.
Yeah, but they're gonna call me an MVP.
It's okay, man. Look, I would be honest with you, and I will let you know exactly what I did with the cup before I gave it to you.
No, you won't get it with me. I'll give you the game winner, but I'm the star. Homie, they paid you $50 million. They paid me $300 million.
Look, I'm okay with the pay because I get to fuck these hoes with the Stanley Cup.
After I get my hands on it, do whatever you want.
I'm gonna make sure I bleach it before I give it to you, though.
Oh my god.
Oh shit.
And G would still be over there hanging out, walking around with it. Oh my god.
It's okay. I'll let you know. I'll put you on that exact hoe who I have my way with. So that way.
Listen, you could do whatever you want team, after man. Me, look, but I'm getting it
first.
We're
team. That's T. There's no I in team.
Exactly.
Whatever we get, we share, just like the trophy. So it's okay.
Yeah.
I've already come to terms with this.
It's the same way back in the day when people invited me to do the train. I said, hey, unless I'm first in line, I ain't gonna run it.
All you gotta do is just spray it with some disinfectant and you're good.
Like I said, Adam. You may have hit the last star.
Oh,
You may have hit the last shot, but I'm still the star, so no. Hey, let me ask you guys a question.
Mm-hmm.
So I heard this. I just want to know your feelings since we're all black men here. And
I'm part Indian too.
well, all right, never mind. I'm not gonna say nothing.
No, I'm just playing with you. I'm just playing with you.
Yeah. Well, no, I was gonna say yeah. I'm technically am too, but but no. My question is, when you see white people adopting black children, do you get like an ick from it?
I'll answer last. Yeah, I'll answer
All right.
last.
When you see black people not taking care of black children, do you get an ick from that?
No, I said when you see white people
I
adopting.
know exactly what you said, and I countered a fucking opposing question.
Well, there's a reason why I'm asking my question. So
Really? I mean, I don't know. I kind of stepped away to fact check your statement about the NBA players getting the trophy, but I don't think that's true.
yeah, because I think what's called Giannis took it over to I think he took it with him to Greece, if I remember right.
Yeah,
Because
but
no,
that's
like they get to have, but it still goes back to the team. They don't get to keep it.
yeah, but that's one person. I mean, like every player on the team in the NHL gets a turn with it. You said
From
Giannis.
my understanding, what I've heard is that yes, every player gets to, I don't know how long they get it for, but yes, every player gets to have the championship for like it's either like a day or two or a week. I'm not sure how long it is. I don't know that. But yes, they get to
You
hold it.
said Giannis took it overseas, bro. That motherfucker had that shit longer than a week. But I mean,
But he's a star of the
again,
team, so of course.
I haven't found any documentation on it. I'm gonna just take your word for it. But anyway, back to this other statement you made.
It's not a statement; it's a question. I did not make a
Oh
statement.
yeah. You made it. You made it. Well, I mean, you wanted to make a statement, and I'm making a question that if what happens when black people aren't taking care of black kids? Does that make an ick to you? Do you feel
Again, first my question. I we'll get to yours, but I need my question answered first. Do you feel
really?
when
Because
white people adopt black children,
one
is there
question
ick to
answers
you?
the other.
Huh?
One question answers the other.
I'll answer. I'll go.
All right, go ahead, Adam.
It pisses me off whenever I see anybody mistreating black children. I mean, children in general. Yes.
That's not the question.
He answered my question.
None of them were mistreated at all.
See,
Wait. Okay.
He answered my question because your question makes no sense.
No, it's a simple question. When you see white people adopting black children, do you feel it?
I feel like if it's a poor white family, then what the fuck and why? And I feel like if it's a rich white family and they make them do some stupid ass shit because they're disconnected from the rest of humanity, I feel like what the fuck. But if it's a middle class white family who has a fence and it's a black fence, then
Black. Okay, go ahead.
yeah, because obviously if you adopt black, your mindset is something. So, you're not gonna have a white picket fence, you're gonna have a black picket fence. And you know what? That's fine with me.
Okay. All right. Oh, okay. And so then you were asked. Okay, and then you want to answer his question.
It pisses me off when I see anybody with any type of children mistreating them, or you have children and yeah, you can go through a tough time. I totally understand that you're struggling, but you go out your way to intentionally do some stupid ass shit that or you dumb. You just like that one video that was going around about that one woman who had brought her child who was a little bit older in a fucking diaper and I think a t-shirt, if anything, that's what he had. And it was cold and raining outside, and all he had on was that shit caused a fucking commotion, and it was in Walmart of all fucking places. And you know what, somebody bought the kids clothing because they was asking her some questions, and it was like real questions, and then she wants to be ignorant as fuck. You know what, let me stop because it seems like I'm focusing on like black females, so I'll stop doing that. What I'll say is this: it pisses me off when the parent is dumb. It pisses me off when the parent is disconnected from the rest of humanity or their social circle or whatever. It Why are you adopting children if you're going to mistreat them in the first fucking place? If that's the case, then you just need to, I don't know, go in the fucking wilds and go crazy in that shit. I don't fucking know. It just makes me mad when I see any child being mistreated, abused, and it's like, why? And you just want to beat and abuse the person who you just basically want to go ahead and do jail tactics. Like, oh, okay, this is what you're in jail for because you did this. All right, see if they survive the night, basically.
I mean, when I was a little younger, it used to bother me because it was like, why are you adopting black children? How can you just want to adopt your own? You know, and but as I am now older, I look at it as like, well, I'm just glad that kid, he has somewhere he has a place to call home. You know, someone's taking care of him. Yeah, and that's how I look at it now. You know, um, hell, our people didn't take care of him, so he had to find some type of home. Yeah, and it's better off. Well, I mean, like you think like what happened to his family? Why did his family didn't take on the mantle and help out to raise up this child? So the fact that child got abandoned and a family wanted to pick him up and take care of him, I was like, hey, and it doesn't bother me no more. Um, um, well, especially when you hear about what happened at these foster homes and all of this stuff. I'd rather have that little black boy that someone's be take care of some type of family than being at a foster home or being stuck in a system where no one gives a fuck about him, and he had to start off the journey of adulthood with nothing. So, hey, hey,
I
uh,
totally agree with you, B.
mhm.
So if James didn't rudely jump the gun and actually let the question live, there was a point of reason why I'm asking that question. Since James wants to jump the gun and all that stuff. No, the reason why I asked that question was because I was watching this video. It's like this black podcast, and they were saying when I see white people adopting black children, it's like an ick to me. And me personally, I've never felt that way. So I said, you know what? Since we're on a blacksmith's podcast, let's ask a bunch of black men. Whenever you see white people adopting black children, is there like an ick to it? I personally have never felt an ick to it. If you're trying to be a good parent and you're probably going to raise a child, that's fine. If anything, I get this may be problematic, because it's going to be things that child's going to have to deal with that you as a white person will never understand, and you may not be able to properly inform that child or know how they had to go through it. So that's kind of like the point where I was going to get to. But like kind of like on James' point, like black people, like I agree with Adam, where abuse. That's not where I was going with it. But abuse at any point in time, yeah, I don't care who it's from, I'm against it 110%. But that whole entire there's an ick to it and stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, and I'm not even more mad at that. I'm more mad at the fact of, well, if you wanted to actually keep your kids and take care of your kids, well, we want to have this problem. But if you want to give away your kids, I'm not gonna feel guilty or feel bad about a white person wanting to come in and get your kids since you don't want them in the first place. There's no reason to feel ick because you decided to give them away. So if you give them away, whoever decides to pick them up, that's the decision you made as two adults that made a responsibility, or maybe you as a person who wind up whatever decision you made that decision and you wound up with the consequences. You gave your consequences away. You can't be mad at the results. I don't feel no ick when I see a white person with a black baby, because if those black parents didn't want to take care of them in the first place, where is the ick coming from? If anything, I'm more disgusted at the parents that don't want to take on the responsibility and take care of their children. That's how I feel about it.
Okay, so I'm going to sound old, but G, you using the word "ick" was bothering me.
Hey, listen, I only brought it up because that's what the video said. They like that's like, and it ain't my words. I didn't say that, but fair enough. Fair enough.
Oh no. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that word works for.
Hey, listen, I only brought it up because that's how they said. They said there's an ick. I said, all right. But fair enough.
Oh man, that's funny.
Yeah.
No, I mean I agree with both you guys. I just, I feel like as long as the child goes to a loving home, then that's what matters. Getting them out of the foster home system. I do feel like as white parents, they won't be able to necessarily know how to navigate the waters when it comes to like speaking to black children. On some instances, I feel like they can be real educated, but they won't know the exacts or but as long as they try, I think that's going to be the thing. If you adopt a black child and you do the best you can and you try to explain, hey, I'm your mom, this is your mom, this is your dad, and we love you no matter what, but it's going to be a time when you get out there and you're going to see that not everyone is going to treat you right just because of your skin color. And as long as you know that, and we'll have this conversation over the period of, however long, so you can understand it. Because we don't want you to get out there and be unprepared thinking that everybody, is going to treat you.
I mean,
think
I'll be
that
honest.
as
I'll
soon as
be
they
honest.
get that out of control,
This is what I will say, and this one I will say, and I will stand by. I don't think white people can properly prepare a black child of what they're gonna have to deal with in that sense. I don't think they really, because I don't think they really have an understanding of it like they need to.
well, I feel like some people have a better understanding than others, but it is something that you won't necessarily understand to the same level as we would understand when we're trying to talk about it. Because you'll have some people that are just like, well, I don't understand. And you know what? That's fine. You don't understand. That's exactly it. And I can explain it to you and go over it, but it's still like you don't fully understand. And, you know, that's just how it's going to be because you're white and I'm black. Or you grew up this way and I grew up that way. So, as long as you acknowledge that you don't understand, see it, then we can talk about it. You can get a better understanding of it. And but I feel like that's just going to be as much as it can be. But in the same step, that's also talking to you can also say the same thing to a black family that adopts a white kid and they live in the hood or they're well off, but they just live in the hood and they're just well off in the hood. They're going to be treated a certain type of way just because they're white. Oh, I didn't even know my thing was silent. But yeah.
I swear to God, dude,
Teach.
y'all killing me.
What?
Nothing.
Exactly.
What do you mean exactly?
Because again, if you didn't jump the gun, you would have understood it. Well, you didn't understand it. But there's a reason why I was asking the question.
No. I didn't jump any gun. I understand what you're saying, but what you're saying is nonsense, pretty much.
How's it nonsense?
So you're like, well, it's like this. If a fucking family doesn't understand, they can't really relate to a black. What you want? So you want these white parents to be like, yo, diggity dog, blah blah blah. You got to watch out for the man in the streets. You know what I'm saying? And why keep the heat and all this other.
I never said that.
Okay, then what are you saying?
All I simply said was they do not have an understanding of it, which is fine. Like
They don't have an understanding of what? They don't have an understanding of children?
No, they don't understand. They don't have to understand. Okay, but they don't fully have an understanding of the black experience, and you can't.
What black experience?
Well, I mean, like I said, we were specifically talking about having to go through like the race stuff and all that stuff. You won't probably be able to understand it like that.
Okay, your parents are white. What
Yes.
race thing are you gonna go through?
Well, again, that's the problem. That's what I'm saying. It's a problem. Is that
What's the problem?
What I'm saying is that that's going to be something difficult that you're going to deal with, and your parents will not.
What is difficult? You're not explaining what's just being black.
Yes, the black. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say it's difficult because, but I'm used to it. As I said, it's hard for me to say it's difficult because I'm used to it.
No, but listen to what you're saying, bro.
Okay.
And again, this is why it's a problem. You're saying, oh, it's going to be difficult for them to be black. Why?
That's not what I said.
Then what are you saying? You're
I
not
said it's
saying
going to be
anything.
difficult for them to understand how. It's going to be difficult for white parents to help their kids navigate that experience. That's what I'm
But
saying.
they're navigate what experience? Black? They're white.
Exactly.
They're just raising a kid. That's the
Yes.
problem. The problem is you guys keep emphasizing the part that he's black and not a kid. That's the fucking problem. Oh shit.
You know what I'll say to that though?
What?
Is that there does need to be a talk, because my parents, they didn't have to talk with me about growing a little, well, basically that the difference of skin colors, right? I knew of it. I knew of racism growing up, of course, just from reading and school and slight things here and there. But I feel like parents do need to have a conversation with their children, so that way it's basically prepare them. But it's not saying that you need to have it when they're like 6, 7, or 8. I feel like this is more of a conversation you have with them when they have a better understanding of society and who they are a little bit. Like maybe when they're 10 to 13, I feel like that. Maybe to recap it when they get into high school, because that's when shit really starts to happen. Um, but I do feel like the conversation does need to be had, because you need to be aware that, yeah, people aren't going to treat you right. Not everyone will, and not everyone will treat you bad, but there will be some people out there that do treat you a certain type of way because of your skin color. And you know what? From my experience, I remember in high school, I was outside just waiting. Not high school, sorry, middle school. I was in 7th grade, and I was outside waiting for my mom to come pick me up. It was around Halloween time, and I'm just right there by this sign in front of the school, and I'm just moving the sign and everything. Like I'm waiting and I'm pushing the sign, and it's wobbling. I'm minding my own business, not causing any type of destruction to fucking city property, right? And then this Chinese man just fucking rolls up on me and starts cursing me out for no fucking reason. And I'm like, what the fuck, sir? I'm just right here waiting for my ride, right? And then he starts to call me a fucking asshole, a fucking black asshole, a fucking nigger. And then the next thing I know, he drives off. So I'm over here like, what the fuck was that about, right?
Mhm.
And that was something I had to navigate myself, because my parents didn't really have that talk with me, nor did they really open up the floor for me to come to them and talk to them about shit that I was experiencing, or even like what that was about. I feel like if I had spoken to them, I mean, if they had spoken to me about it earlier, I would have had a way better idea what was going on, what that was about. In that specific situation, I was 13, 14, yeah, no, 12, 13 when that happened, and I didn't know how to react to that. 12, 13, no, 13, 4, 13. I was 13, 12 or 13, yeah, and I didn't know how to react to that, and that was just something that you know, I had to just figure out. Well, probably it took me about a month and a half to really understand. To understand, like what Lancaster, how the city was, or what it had, this and that. I mean, as a kid, I'm just minding my own business, and for somebody, some grown ass man to just roll up on me in the car and start cursing me out.
That just changed your whole life, huh?
Well, it didn't change my whole life, but it changed the perspective of how I seen things.
Like
And
forever, huh?
it did. You know,
Okay.
it didn't change it in a bad way. It didn't change it in a positive way. It was an experience, is what I'll say.
So it
It,
didn't change it in a bad way, and it didn't change it in a good way. It just kind of changed it skewed your perspective a little bit, right?
yes, that's exactly how I would say. And
Interesting.
I would say that, um, you know, I didn't have that conversation. I know my wife, she had a conversation with her parents, when she was around 10, 11, about, not like a heavy in depth, but just like, hey, I just wanted to sit down and talk to you, because I already talked to your brothers about this, that, you're going into, you're getting older, you're going to be going into middle school soon. And I just need you to know that middle school is a time where people, kids, they're going to be mean. You're going to have friends, but you'll also have the experience where you're going to be picked on, or people will be mean, and because they're coming from different areas of life, they're going to be saying things about you, or they might call you a name. So it's, better that we sit down and have this conversation now about, what things like this mean, people who do these type of things, so it changes your perspective from just seeing another kid or another, preteen, and to like possibly like, okay, I do see another kid, another teenager, yes, but at the same time, if this kid starts calling me these type of names, this isn't like just me and them just playing around or calling each other names just to have fun. It's like, no, it took a turn. Like, this is, something that someone shouldn't call you, especially names that you don't even know anything about, like fucking the concept of calling someone a monkey and elementary school, and then going into middle school and high school, and someone calling you a monkey who's white and Mexican, like, the concept of that is different. So it just opens your eyes to things, and I do feel like people can get across like what they mean by that, to get you to understand it. I feel like that. I just also feel like if you're Black and you have a Black family and they tell you about certain things, it holds a different emphasis on it, because you're talking about past experiences and racism and a couple other things that, hold more of an in-depth, well, it holds a more deeper pain when you talk about things like that, I feel. But as long as you get the concept apart and they understand what you're talking about, so that way when they go to school the next day, or later on, a year or 2 years from now, they know how to effectively handle that situation better than they would than they were then, yeah, they know how to handle it better than they would if they weren't told about it, and they know how to navigate these waters more when you're around certain people and they say certain things, or that you're just around certain people in general. Oh, that's all good.
Oh, okay. So yeah, what you were saying. Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. I get what you're saying. Understand your experience. But now here's the problem. Yeah. So yeah, you had that experience when you were 13, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And it affected you, not really negative, not really positive. It just kind of skewed your perspective, right?
Yeah.
Okay. After that, how many of those experiences did you have?
Like here and there, like,
Yeah, like
let's say
once in a
like
while.
let's just say over a year, probably like 7 or 8 altogether,
Okay.
and it wasn't
So
every year.
yeah. So what you're telling me is that you didn't really kind of think skewed of a situation until you were 13 years old because your parents never talked to you. But now you kind of think, man, what should have happened is they should have told me earlier. Now, here's the problem with that. Have you ever heard someone say, hey, be careful, you're gonna fall if you walk over there?
Yeah.
And then the problem is when they tell you that, you're so fixated on falling. Some people, well, most people end up either worrying about it so much or they just end up falling, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So if they would have told you when you were younger, and that's the problem, people have that conversation because they feel like they need to have that conversation because it prepares the kid. In actuality, it tells the kid that this is going to happen. So now they're on guard about it happening. And then as soon as something happens, then all of a sudden, that's it. It happened because I'm black. It didn't happen because the dude thought I was a punk. It didn't happen because he thought I was destroying property. No, it happened because I was black. And then for the rest of your life, you're going to go, see, all of this happened because I was black. And then it skews to the point where, let's say you broke a sign and somebody was like, you fucking piece of shit. You're like, see, it's because I'm black. And it has that, now you have that stigma and you live with that stigma that everything happens because you're black. Everything happens because people are racist. There are racist people out in the world, but the problem is people live their life thinking that all you're going to get is racist people. So they live their life thinking everybody's going to be racist and they're going to get the shit into the stick. And then that dictates how they live their life. When parents don't tell their fucking kids shit like that and they let their kids be kids, then kids just are kids. If I'm white and I don't know about black fucking things, okay. But I know about just living. That gives me a leg up. Me and G had this argument before, but people don't get it. Why do you have to identify as a black American?
Well, I get what you're saying, James, and I can agree with you. I definitely can agree with, you know, basically making a kid alert of a situation, and then it changes their whole outcome, like you said, and now the whole situation is because I'm black.
All you hear on these news things is, oh my God, it's terrible because I'm black and blah blah blah. No, because you're being like, oh, I can't. Because then the next thing is, well, I can't amount to anything because white people don't allow me to. Oh, I can't get ahead in life because white people don't allow us to. White people don't let us get ahead. So we're just gonna live in shit, and that's what we're gonna do because we're black. And now, you know what I should do? I should just be gang banging because that's all black people can do, and I should live in the projects because that's all black people can amount to, and that's it. That's it.
Wait. There's a counter argument to this, but you're not wrong in that it can screw up someone's thought process and thinking that way. I do agree with that. But the counter argument, actually, it's not really a counter argument. Let's just say a lived experience that I seen a friend go through. Um, let's just say that, not saying that they didn't go through the conversation or anything, but let's just say that, you're growing up and you're in a rich parent household, right? Rich, well off. I'll say that.
Mhm.
Got a house, your parents make good money, and you have a good education, good private school education or whatever. Basically, you're going to college, off your own education and hard work. Now you're in high school, so it's going to college, and you feel like that as a black person, you need to gang bang or you need to live this life or you need people to see you in this way. So now you're going out of your way to go live through these experiences that you don't need to live through, that only people don't usually the only people who are living through them are the people who have to struggle through them to survive on a day to day. But you feel like you need to do it to prove that you're black. At that point, would you say that that's similar to what you're, a similar a similar but opposite way of what you're saying?
Mm, I mean, not really, because at that point, it's just somebody being stupid.
I
like,
agree with you on that.
like, uh, like all the rich people. You know what I'm saying? Like Lil Wayne and Chris Brown. They're like, I make a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? I've got all this fame. I've done everything. You know what I should do? I should gang bang now. Like that makes sense. I should put myself in the streets and almost get shot at, tag and bang, and not get no respect because all of those people get extorted and they don't have any respect. Or Soldier Boy, all those people are the same. Those people are stupid, but they feel like yeah, this is what they need to do. Okay, great. But that's them. That's their choice. That's what they feel because they've seen TV and they're like, yeah, that's what needs to happen. That's not their parents pushing their ideology on. When you skew your kid's mind to think that shit, and then they start just worrying about that all the time, then yeah, then they find an excuse. It's a scapegoat now. Like, I do bad in school because I'm black and the teacher's against me and the teacher's racist and the principal and don't worry, the system's against me, society's against me to not make it because I'm black, because my parents told me that I need to watch out for the whitey.
I feel like there's an overstimulation of that. I feel like it has to be a line. I feel like you're right, and we shouldn't push it on our kids. But I also feel like we should make our kids just aware that there will be unfair situations. But and I feel like it should be done very lightly, but not when they're kids. I feel like it should be done when they're a little bit older. But like preteens, teenage. I feel like getting out of middle school, going into high school, where you're going to be exposed to a lot of different things, would be a better time to just go over it
Okay, hold on,
and
hold on,
just
hold on.
like
I want to jump in right here. I mean, if you give me a second, because like you keep saying middle school and high school, and I could tell you straight up, I mean, in my personal, there's no really good time to deal with it. There's no account because I didn't deal with it in middle school. I dealt with it when I was a child in elementary, maybe even preschool. First time I ever got
I
called a nigga out my name by a white person.
have
So this whole entire premise
I
of
feel like it might have to do with the location that
probably.
oh go ahead, G.
Yeah, but like I don't believe in it. There's anything that there's a right time. I mean, in my personal opinion, I don't think anybody wants to have the conversation. But when it comes up, you need to be able to have it, and you need to be ready to have it. So I just don't agree with the parent. Oh,
I
you have to
feel
wait till you're 13. I had to deal with it before I even hit 13.
okay, but but that part right there kind of goes into like some of the things we was talking about. How
Yep,
yours, okay, this happened to you earlier. Does
gonna
that
prove my
exactly
point.
you need to have the conversation at this age? If you go back home and you talk to your parents about it, then it's a conversation that needs to be had. If the conversation doesn't arise or something doesn't happen until a certain age, then you talk about it at that certain age. But I feel like within like just that area of going from something such as elementary school to middle school and high school, where it's going to be vastly more exposed and you're going to be exposed to a lot more situations, whether that's in school or after school. But you're going to have a lot of freedom. It's something that should just be spoken about a lot. As a like, hey, this is what can happen. This doesn't affect, but I feel like it needs to be. They need to be reminded, like how James was saying. You don't want to put it in their mind that this is going to happen, and then okay, all of a sudden they start thinking this way and use that as an excuse. You want to say you just want to basically say, hey, this is what can happen, or an example, an experience.
No,
But then after that,
I mean, I agree on
you
the premise that you don't want a kid walking around blaming everything that goes wrong in his life is racist. I do agree with that. So I do think that we need to do a better job with communicating that message. So I 110% agree with that. But to sit there and like be cool and maybe a kid walking through life through ignorance or like it comes up like I said like I more agree like when it actually get older I think preferably you would like to do it when you're older. But like I said, I dealt with it from I don't remember what age, but I dealt with it when I was younger. I dealt with it. I'm not talking about just message. I'm talking about white people and shit. I've gotten in a fight with fucking white people because they fucking call me out my motherfucking name. I dealt with it when I was in elementary. I dealt with it before elementary. I dealt with it when I got to high school. The only time I didn't really deal with it was middle school.
see, I
Now,
dealt with it in middle school, but it was only in certain situations. Outside of kids, I can still be being kids, but with like you as a kid dealing with an adult,
hmm,
that's where it started with me. But I didn't, and like I was telling James, it was only like here and there, a couple
I
times
agree with
throughout
that.
the year.
I agree. It's not a
But
consistent thing that always happens. I mean, if
but
anything,
it's
from
just
my from my understanding, I think it happens way more to people that I know in like the South. I think that's why I'm always talking about the South. Granted, I'm not from there, but I lived there for a little bit.
no, it does, in my opinion,
Yeah.
because I was speaking to a coworker who was from Mississippi, and she was
Oh,
around 27, and although she said it's way better, it's still out there a lot more.
I
It,
heard.
it's
I know a couple of people from Mississippi that they said that's almost, and from what they told me, that's like ground zero for like most racist place down in the South. From what I've been told.
I don't know. I I feel like Mississippi, Alabama, that
Oh
area,
yeah. I mean, I never met
but
anybody from Alabama, so I can't speak
I
on that.
can't I can't say for sure because I didn't go through it. I just have to take their word, and
Exactly.
based on off of how old they are compared to me, and when they moved from the South, and then the area of the South they was in, that's what I would take from that.
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
my mom grew up
me
in
and Ella
Jackson,
Coolpad had
Mississippi.
I just want to say, me and Ella Coolpad had a little debate on that about the racism in the South. So
But I'd rather deal with the racism in the North than the racism in the South any fucking day.
I'd rather not deal with racism at all, but okay.
I mean, yeah, but
Yeah, but again,
that's not going to happen.
again, G, you said, "Oh my God, this happened to me when I was a little kid," right?
Yeah,
What? How old do you think you were?
if I'm guessing,
Like
maybe
5, 6?
probably between like 4 and 6, probably.
Between 4 and 6 years old.
Yeah,
Okay, they called you the N-word, right?
yeah.
Did you actually know what they were talking about?
No, I was like, what the heck was that?
So how did it affect you?
I was just like, what does that mean? And what, like, I didn't think nothing of it.
So how did you become offended by it?
Well, I was I just probably proves your point, but I was sat down and explained and learned about the history of the word.
There we go.
Yeah.
Again, when someone calls you stupid, is that a means of war?
No,
Then why is it when they call you the N-word?
because it's specifically directed at me to degrade me because of the color of my skin. It's directly made to do that.
Is it?
Yes.
But are you sure? N-word was meant to be ignorant.
Yes, but it was
Are you
directed. It
ignorant?
was specifically directed
Are
at
you
black.
ignorant?
Huh?
Are you ignorant?
No.
Are you stupid?
Well, okay, I can be, but no.
Are you stupid?
No.
Okay, then. So just like you won't get offended when they call you stupid, the only reason you got offended when they called you the N-word is someone had to tell you to be offended. So then after that, for the
No.
rest of
It's
your,
not that they told me how to be offended. They told me the historical meanings of that.
so they told you why, because again, that word means ignorant.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter the color. Now, granted, they used it against colored people,
Yes.
and there's a bunch of variations on how that came up. If you do the research, it's very interesting how that word came up. But
Didn't it?
nobody ever does the research. They just think that's what it is, that's what it was used for, so that's permanently what it means. How many times do you call your buddies the N-word over the 30 whatever years you've been alive?
I don't call nobody that.
You've never in your life called anybody that.
Well, very minimal, but G
Do
can
we have a
attest.
lie detector here?
No,
No,
I
G can
I
attest.
can attest. I've been knowing Adam for years now, and he's used it, but rarely.
Yeah, but
Rarely.
he's used it. But he's used it.
Rarely.
Yeah, in like a mad situation. But yes, I agree.
Probably
but,
no. I would say in high school you did, but it was really rare.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter. He used it. Did you use it to mean black?
I don't remember. You got to ask that Adam. I can't remember.
No.
I've used the word plenty of times against people of all races to mean ignorant, because that's what the definition is. You'll never live till you've called a white person that for cutting you off or something. But But again, if people teach you the word means black, then that's what you're going to take from it. If you teach them the
I don't think
word
I was ever
means,
taught the word. Oh no, I take that. Yes, I was. Yeah. It was no. When I
no,
was
you
taught,
weren't.
it was based
It
on the
meant
word
black.
negro, which is
James, you're right though. When I grew up, my mom, and not really my dad, but my mom was the one who told me that just basically means that you're ignorant, you're being dumb and stupid when you use the word, especially when you try and use it to either try and hurt somebody, or you use it, even using it as a way of calling someone like in an endearment type of way. She just basically told me never to use the word because of the history that comes behind it, and how it was used. And even though people are using it in this day and age as in a different type of way, it doesn't take away the history of the word itself. So instead of even saying that word, don't say it at all. Or instead of saying that word in the type of way of being endearment, why not just call them the endearment word that you're trying to call them? Bro, hey, brother, whatever it is, like, why not just use that? And why do you need to specifically use that word? So that conversation, which is very few race-filled conversations I had when I was younger, was just like and I mean like eight, 9, 10. When it was like more so being heard here and there and everything, because she had seen a group of people using the word, and it was just like, just don't say it. So that's why I really don't use the word. And in a short burst of time I did use it was in high school, but very rarely even then. The only time I really ever use the word is when I get really mad, but then even then I don't even use the word. It's like, yeah, extremely rare, but it steps out nonetheless. I just don't like saying the word.
Mm-hmm. But again, now, if it's taught properly, do you use the word apple?
Yeah. You said
Do you
apple?
use,
Yeah.
yeah. Do you use the word carriage?
Yeah.
Have you used the word cartridge?
I
Like printer
I
cartridge, like, no, just in the cartridge.
I don't think I have.
Okay.
Cart. No, no, no. You're right. Egg cart. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, those are all words in the English language. So you are taught how to use the word apple. It is an apple. It is a fruit. It is a computer. You eat them, you use them, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
So you can use it properly. The N word is, like, again, term that means ignorant. People are taught, though, means black.
Yeah.
Don't
Now
use that.
it was changed. I mean, not even going on the
Exactly.
history so
Right.
far, we all know.
Right. But it's still the actual definition means ignorant. So why isn't it just taught properly?
Shit, if I know. I think it's probably because it's still used in the slang way. Here's another question. A general, not a general, I'm sorry. I mean a real question, not even trying to be funny or, trying to trip you up or anything. What did the word mean before it was even used as a way of talking about a black slave?
Well, there's a couple different ways they're saying. They're actually saying there used to be, oh, fuck, idiot little kids. There used to be a tribe that had a name similar to it, and people used that word.
I think I do remember reading that. I don't
Yes.
remember the exact, but I know what you're talking about.
And then over the years, white people started kind of cultivating the word. So another um people said that Germans were using it, but it kind of, had a little bit of a barrier. But yeah, there used to be, the biggest thing was there used to be a tribe called the Niger tribe.
There it is. Yeah. Okay. Now, yes.
That's where, again, if you look it up, that's what it's kind of said. Now, I wasn't there, I can't verify it, but that's pretty much what they're saying. So yeah.
No, yeah, because they were from the land.
Exactly.
of Niger. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
There's actually, and I want to say there's something over here called Nigger Falls. No, I'm dead serious. It's a place over here. I think it's in Temecula, but it's land. It's like land, but people try to like hide it because it's the actual legit name of it. But again, so yeah, they turned the name, they blah blah blah. But again, you're like, oh yeah, I kind of remember that, but nobody did the research to understand it.
I did do the research not a long, but a while ago. So I knew exactly what you were saying when you brought it up. Yes. Man, but with time and history, words change. And I can't say for sure, but no, even then, that's the original word meant something else. I guess it's just because of how it was used for 400 years. Like, it's something that's still hard just to say, okay, this means that, or, this means a tribe, which it does. But, for African Americans whose most ancestors were, slaves. So it's like that's what comes up automatically because that's what the most recent word was used for.
Really? But again, that's not true. The most recent word was used as a term of endearment between us. Black people pretended to not care about it, but still harbored all kind of hate for it. So now it's half the people that say it all the time, half the people that don't want other people to say it, half the people who want. It's so messy. And if they would just stop talking about it, just do what you're gonna do.
I agree.
But that's just it. You agree. But so many people just want to be fixated on it and talk about, like you just said, 400 years. Bro, how old are you?
Shit, 34.
Okay. You are not 400 years old. How long were you a slave?
I wasn't at all.
So how long did you feel the hurt of being a slave?
I don't physically or mentally feel it at all. But
right.
But what I will say is that when people call me it, especially with the hard R, ER, it can't bring up any type of memory because since you never was, it just brings up, I guess, anger because you know what they're trying to do. And although you can be like, you don't care, for the most part, when I say I don't. On some days, that'll just take you right off your guard. Like you wasn't even expecting that. And, someone's trying to hurt your feelings and you know what they're trying to do. I guess that's what it is. It's like, I know what you're trying to do. I know what you meant by that. You know what you meant by that. You know what you're trying to do. And you're just looking like, or you feel like, why would you do that? What intention do you have to sit there and try and call me a name? Like with such a history behind it. Like you not in an endearment type of way. You're literally trying to sit there and talk bad about me, make me seem like a certain type of way. And for the most part, you just walk away. But like I said, it's just some days you're taken back by it. And I mean, you can help it, but it's kind of hard then and there.
Now look at this though. What if nobody would have sat you down and taught you about that?
Shit, I probably would have learned on my own.
But would you have really? Or would you have been like, okay. Would it mean so much to you if you would have sat down and been like, oh wow, this means ignorant? Like, think about it. You would have learned on your own. So the first thing kids do when they want to learn something is they go to Google, and Google will tell you that it's ignorant, means being ignorant. Wow, that person thinks I'm ignorant. How dare they? Would you pay a lot of attention to it? Like, that guy's stupid. I'm not ignorant. I'm smart. I'm very smart. My mom says I'm smart. But yeah, again, somebody calls you the word. You don't understand what it is. You don't know what it is. You look it up. It says it to be ignorant. So then you say, this dude's crazy. I'm not ignorant. I'm smart. You go on about your life, right?
Yeah.
It's that somebody told you 400 years ago, so oppressed and and you just feel it in your core because you know from all the years of injustice you suffered that's what they meant, and you just ruins your life, and it takes you all back, and you're hurt for days, and you can't go to work, and you can't sleep, right?
Wait, you're saying that's what would happen? No,
Okay, so that wouldn't happen,
no, no. I wouldn't take off work or anything. I'd be mad about it.
right? You'd be
But
mad
I'm not
about
gonna
it,
hit my coworker because then I get fired. As a matter of
right?
fact, it
So it
rarely
doesn't affect you.
happens. Huh?
So it doesn't affect you.
No, no. I mean, it'll make me mad, yes, but will it affect my day to day? No.
Okay.
And then that
So
just proves who you are, and that lets me know I'm not going around you.
there we go. So you know how to move accordingly. So now why on earth do you have to make such a big point in explaining it to a kid when you just figured out how to navigate it and it doesn't affect your day to day, it doesn't affect your core, it doesn't affect your life, it doesn't affect anything.
I get what you're saying, but I just think that it's important to let them know that not a kid, like a preteen, a teenager, but it's important for them to understand that when someone calls you this and they're with an ER, they're trying to hurt your feelings.
But why do we have to sit there and be like, this is why, like, like the whole history of, and then all of a sudden, also all they're going to do is jade people because you know what? They don't say everybody says it. They say white people say this to us. So now you got these kids looking at white kids like, you can't say that to me because my ancestors, blah, blah. Get the fuck out of here. Most of the white people that I deal with, they could care less. But then people say, no, all white people are racist. The fuck do I care for?
You
All
know
I
what?
want.
As adults, yeah, no, but kids are hurtful, and I know that I feel like kids will use your words more. I mean, because we all know, like, just from watching videos and lyrics,
Hey,
people are gonna just say. I mean, to be honest with you,
hold
just a
on.
couple of days ago, it was a
Hold on, I'm sorry to stop you, but B said he has to go, so I want to give B a chance to say his goodbye real quick.
all right.
Yeah, you guys, I had to go. My phone about to die. But yeah, that was very interesting to sit back and listen to. I was like, okay, you can bring up some good points. And Adam, he's keeping on with the conversations. I just enjoy myself kicking. It was like a kickback listening to. Well, this is a podcast, right?
Yep.
So I was like, okay, cool. But it got me thinking and shit like that. And like, yeah, you're 100% right, man. We take this inward shit a little bit too far. And I think we I see we gotta move past all that shit, you know. And like James said, start to teach our kids, to pretty much dust it off and continue on with your business. We got bigger issues to tackle. So, but yeah, you guys, appreciate being on the podcast, and I'll talk to y'all another time.
All right, B.
Take it easy,
All
B.
right, man. All right, man. Peace out, you guys.
What the fuck?
I don't know what the hell happened to Adam.
Oh my god. Man, looks like your podcast is done, homie.
Bro, no, it is. It is. Let me end it real quick, and then I can turn off.
You gotta go help cook. Everybody else left.
Well, I don't necessarily. I don't go yet, but I do have to go soon. But hold on, maybe I'll just end this real quick though. All right. So I want to thank y'all for checking out another podcast. I definitely appreciate it. And this one was a great one because I didn't expect. And this one was a great one because I didn't expect most of the people to show up that. Okay, I'll just go back to normal one. I was trying to be creative.
Wow, you suck at that.
I do.
You couldn't say, "Hey, man, This podcast was a banger, and I would shout out everybody that came out. We didn't know this was gonna happen, but it was a good thing it did. I want to thank G. I want to thank Adam. I want to thank B. I want to thank Norris. I want to thank the whole cast for today for making it what it was. It was great.
And I want to thank James for being on here too. I definitely appreciate it.
I'm just here not to get sued, bro.
Yeah, definitely. So with that being said, I want to thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. Make sure to check out the Clip Channel Fit the Description podcast. We do 2 clips a week with a Saturday short every Saturday, so make sure to check that out. And beyond that, we're going to get up out of here. Y'all have a good one. And yeah, we'll see y'all in the next episode.